Welcome to our latest news update. Today we will be discussing some of the most recent and controversial news stories making headlines around the world. From political scandals to social media restrictions, we've got it all covered. So without further ado, let's get started. First up, Twitter has restricted Marjorie Taylor Greene's account after she made controversial tweets about trans people and the Nashville shooting. Next, Boebert has refused to nitpick the Bible after her son got his girlfriend pregnant. In a shocking turn of events, Donald Trump's Secret Service agents are set to testify against him in an upcoming trial. Meanwhile, Ron DeSantis' board is raging against Disney World after illegal humiliation. And finally, Fox News has displayed a poll showing that 60% of people do not want Donald Trump back in office. Stay tuned for more updates on these stories and more. Let's get started. Well, look who we have here. The brains, the beauty, the billionaire, and me. What a team.
Breaking news. Twitter has restricted Marjorie Taylor Greene after tweets about trans people in the Nashville shooting. In this article from The Independent, it says that Twitter temporarily limited certain tweets from the official account of Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Twitter, the place where people go to share their unfiltered thoughts. It's like a virtual version of the Wild West.
It's interesting to see how social media platforms are trying to regulate content. On one hand, they want to promote free speech, but on the other hand, they don't want to be responsible for the spread of misinformation.
It's a delicate balance, for sure. But I think it's important for these platforms to take responsibility for the content that's being shared on their sites.
I mean, can you imagine if we didn't have any regulations on social media? It would be chaos. It's already hard enough to keep up with all the cat videos.
But in all seriousness, the spread of misinformation can have serious consequences. It's important for people to fact check before they share something online.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to end up like that guy who thought he could cure COVID-19 with bleach.
Exactly. And when it comes to issues like the Nashville shooting and the transgender community, we need to be especially careful about the information we're sharing. We don't want to perpetuate harmful stereotypes or spread false information.
From Twitter restrictions to family affairs, it seems like politicians just can't keep their tweets or their kids under control. But hey, at least one of them is taking a hands-off approach to the Bible.
Well, look who we have here. The brains, the beauty, the billionaire, and me. What a team.
Breaking news, guys. Congresswoman Lauren Boebert won't nitpick the Bible after her son got his girlfriend pregnant.
I guess we can say that's one way to increase the population.
Well, I'm just glad he's taking petroleum engineering classes. We need more people in that field.
I'm sure he'll be a great father. After all, he's already got experience with Happy Meals.
But in all seriousness, it's interesting to see how people's beliefs can be challenged by their personal lives.
Yes, it's a classic case of cognitive dissonance. When reality clashes with our beliefs, we tend to rationalize and justify our actions.
It's important to remember that we're all human and we all make mistakes. It's how we learn and grow from them that matters.
Well said, Alon. And on that note, let's end this segment before we start nitpicking each other's beliefs.
From one family scandal to another, it seems like the only thing these two stories have in common is that they both involve people who could use a little more time reading their Bibles.
Well. Looks like the chickens are finally coming home to roost for Mr. Trump.
Breaking news, folks. According to reports, multiple Secret Service agents connected to the former president have been subpoenaed and are expected to testify before the state grand jury likely on Friday.
The law of karma strikes again. It seems that Mr. Trump's actions have finally caught up with him.
Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. We need to wait for the facts to come out before we make any judgments.
It's interesting to see how this investigation is revving up. Seems like there's a lot more to this story than we initially thought.
I must say, the handling of classified documents is not exactly rocket science. It's a wonder how someone could mess it up so badly.
It's important to note that this investigation is taking place in Washington, D.C., which means it's being taken very seriously.
In this article from Newsweek, we can see that the evidence against Mr. Trump is mounting. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Well, it looks like Donald Trump isn't the only one with disgruntled employees. In other news, it seems like Ron DeSantis' board is having a bit of a Mickey Mouse operation.
Well, it seems like Governor Ron DeSantis has been outmaneuvered by the mouse. I guess he should have taken a lesson from my book and not mess up the scene.
Breaking news, folks. The Central Florida Tourism Oversight District is in hot water after discovering that their predecessors signed an agreement that strips the new board of most of its powers.
It seems like the board members are in a bit of a pickle. They can take significant action without first getting approval from Disney. I guess they should have read fine print.
In this article from Newsweek, we can see that the battle between conservatives and defenders over left rights is still a long way. Republicans in over 24 states are trying to stop gender-affirming care for minors and drag shows in front of youngsters.
It's really disappointing to see Disney act this way. They essentially made themselves the government. This board loses, for practical purposes, the majority of its ability to do anything beyond maintain the roads and maintain basic infrastructure.
I guess we can say that Disney is the real king of the Magic Kingdom. They have managed to maintain their autonomy and control over the district's development rights and special privileges.
It's interesting to note that the agreement between Decree and Disney could last decades because it contains a rare royal lives clause, which means it remains valid until 21st years after the death of the last survivor of the descendants of King Charles I.
I guess we can say that Governor Ron DeSantis got a taste of his own medicine. He thought he could take on Disney and best them, but he was cleverly outmaneuvered at the last minute.
It's good to see that the board members are taking action and hiring lawyers to challenge the agreement. It's important to uphold the authority of this board to govern and not let Disney have complete control. Well, it looks like Ron DeSantis isn't the only one getting a cold reception. According to Fox News, it seems like Donald Trump's welcome back party might be a little less crowded than he hoped. Well, it seems like the majority of Americans don't want to see a Trump come back. I guess the Make America Great Again slogan didn't quite stick with everyone.
Breaking news, folks. The Marist National Poll for National Public Radio and Best Newsshare has revealed that only 38% of U.S. voters want Donald Trump to have another term in the White House.
It appears that the laws of physics still apply, even to politics. What goes up must come down.
Interesting. It seems that while 76% of Republicans want Trump to run for a second term, the majority of Democrats and independents don't want him to run again. It's a divided country indeed.
This could set up a 2024 match against Joe Biden. Though a majority of Americans don't think either man should run again. It's a tough decision for the Democrats. But I trust they'll make the right one.
And in other news, Fox Business has displayed a poll showing that 61% of people don't want Donald Trump back. Looks like the network's finally catching up to the rest of the country.
It looks like Stuart Barney is the bearer of bad news for Trump. I hope he's not too hard on him.
It's not just the Stormy Daniels case that Trump is being investigated for. He's also being looked into for his role in alleged efforts to overturn the 2022 presidential election result in Georgia, the events surrounding the January 6, 2021 attack on Congress, and his handling of classified documents. It's a lot to keep track of. But I have faith in the justice system.